Hi, this is Mike Hersey and welcome to another episode of Starting an Online Business. What I'm going to talk about today is SSL and what it is and why you need it, and a little bit about how you go about setting it up for your website. So when people first started using websites, mainly people were reading information, but of course increasingly over time people create profiles or they use online banking or so on like that. So it becomes more important to have a secure way of sending things like user profiles and passwords from your browser to the destination website. And so a thing called SSL was created, and that creates effectively a secure tunnel. What that means is that if you've got a website that's SSL enabled, your browser will encrypt the information and send it encrypted, and with information coming back will be encrypted as well. So that makes the thing more secure. From a practical perspective, what you can see, if we have a look here at, this is an old website that I've got that I haven't, it's just used as a repository for a few articles I've written. And we can see here at the top it says not secure. Okay, that's because it's using HTTP, not HTTPS. And the S bit, it means it's secure. Now that does scare off some people. If we look at my Pivotal Shift website, which of course at the moment I haven't really done anything to, we can see here that it's got the little padlock here, which means that communication between the website and the destination, between the browser and the destination website is secure. Okay, so let's have a quick look behind the scenes. If we go into sort of cPanel, which you'll usually have with your hosting account, and we have a look at SSL TLS status. The technology has changed a bit now and it's changed its name, but we still call them SSL certificates. We can see here for all these different domain names, getting at webmail and the cPanel and the domain name and so on like this, the mail server, they've all got an SSL certificate, and the certificate lasts for a limited amount of time and then you can renew it. Now originally you used to have to pay for this, and it could be something like maybe £50 a year or something, or it would be a significant amount added on to the top of hosting. But now you've got organizations called Let's Encrypt, which is a validated certificate issuing authority, and so they do free certificates, which is great because it means it doesn't cost any extra now to have your site secured or to have the communication secured. There's another practical reason for that, and that's because that search engines such as Google are down ranking websites that are not secure. So it's now pretty much becoming compulsory to have your site secured, to have an SSL certificate, if you want to compete with other sites in search engine rankings. So if we look at okay, now so how do you do it? Well, if we go back to the website, the cPanel here, in fact Rochen, which is my hosting company, they've already got a button set up for creating Let's Encrypt SSL certificates, which makes the whole thing a lot easier. If you don't, then you'll have to find out how to do that for your certificate. And there are other ways to get free certificates too. But it's not just enough to have a certificate. You also have to set up some of the configuration files for your website so that it will work with encryption. And that's a little more tricky. Now, within WordPress, which I've got set up on here, you need to do that with WordPress as well. Now I found a plugin called Really Simple SSL, and it comes in two flavors. It comes in free variety or Pro, which in Pro it does a load of other stuff as well. If you completely know what you're doing, then just go with the free one. But if you're not a super techie nerd, and I'm not that techie, then I decided I would go for the paid version because it does a lot more of the work for you. It was $29 for the paid version, and you only have to buy that once. Basically, you don't need to keep doing it because once it's set up, basically it's set up. So if I show you a little bit more about what the paid version does, let's have a look. Okay, if we go into settings and SSL. Now this is where we enter the license for the paid version. That's active at the moment. Let's have a look at the configuration. Okay, now one of the things it does is it does a check on various things. For example, it does SSL is enabled on your site. Okay. There's various other technical things going on here. Some of them I'm just not really sure what they mean, to be brutally honest. And I decided I'm not going to try to understand everything. I just want it to work. What this is quite good at doing, though, is that there are some things which are not ready yet. When you first go through this, it will have red X's here. But it will also then have instructions on what you then need to do to get it to green tick. And so there's a variety of things there, and I can't really show you them now because they're now all green tick, so they're not showing what the options are. But this is really meant to just give you a flavour. So even though I'm not a super techie nerd, by getting this £29 Pro version of really simple SSL, I managed to get it all set up in about an hour and a half. It might have even been a bit less than that. So I do recommend that. That just made it a lot easier. So as you can see, as I showed you already, now I've got the little padlock on next to the domain name on the browser, and that means basically I won't be penalized in the rankings, and it also means that it's not going to alarm people by saying not secure. So I hope that gives you a flavor.